All right, so we're back for another deep dive.
Another deep dive.
And this one's
Yeah.
gonna be a fun one, I think.
Right.
This time, we're taking a look at the upcoming Premier League matchup
Right.
between Crystal Palace and Southampton on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And we've got some
We got some good stuff here.
pre-match analysis
Mm-hmm.
and some statistics to really dig into.
Okay.
And you know what the numbers are telling? Pretty interesting story.
Yeah.
So the big question is,
Yeah. What is it?
will Crystal Palace keep their New Year's Eve win streak alive?
Okay.
Or could Southampton pull off an upset and, kind of climb their way out of that relegation zone?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question, right? I mean, it's a fascinating matchup for sure. You got Crystal Palace, they're riding high, undefeated in their last 7 league games,
Wow.
and haven't lost a year-ending match since 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a streak most teams dream of.
Yeah.
But they do have a bit of a home field puzzle to solve.
Right. 4 games without a win at home.
It's a little bit of a head scratcher,
Yeah.
especially when you consider, their overall form.
Right.
But looking deeper into it, those 4 losses, they came against teams that are all currently sitting in the top half of the table.
Yeah.
That's a tough run for any team.
Exactly. I think that adds another layer of context.
Absolutely.
And then you got Southampton, currently bottom of the table, 9 points adrift to safety.
Yeah.
New manager Ivan Juric lost his first game in charge.
Ooh, tough start.
Tough start, yeah. They haven't won an away game in the Premier League since February 2023.
So, on paper, it seems like Crystal Palace has a pretty clear advantage.
Right.
But things aren't always so straightforward in football,
Yeah.
especially when you look at their head-to-head record.
Yeah, what's their history like?
Well, Southampton has found ways to score at Selhurst Park pretty consistently.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, over their last 7 visits to Crystal Palace,
Wow.
Southampton has scored in 5 of those matches. And on top of that, they've won 4, drawn 1, and lost only 2.
Wow. So despite their struggles, they've actually performed pretty well against Palace.
Exactly, and that's what makes this matchup so interesting.
It does.
You've got Southampton struggling overall, but they've had some success against Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we make sense of that?
Well, sometimes I think, some players just have certain teams' numbers.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's the case here.
Maybe.
Speaking of players, though, let's talk about those individual narratives a little bit.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it.
We've got to start with Jean-Philippe Mateta for Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy is on fire.
Yeah, he's been scoring goals for fun.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And, you have to wonder, is it just luck?
Right. Is he just on a hot streak?
Or is there something more to it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think it's just luck. I mean, if you look at his recent performances, he's been making these intelligent runs in behind defenses.
Mm-hmm.
He's finding space. He's finishing his chances clinically. I think he's confident, and that's a dangerous thing for any opponent.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, the big challenge for him is going to be, how he handles Southampton's center backs. They're very physical.
Right.
Can he use his movement to find those pockets of space against them?
Right.
That, I think, is going to be one of the key things to watch in this match.
For sure. And then for Southampton, you can't overlook Paul Onuachu.
Oh, man.
This guy's a giant up front.
He's a force.
And when he gets going, he is hard to stop.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Onuachu is just dominant in the air. A real handful for defenders.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to note, in his last 4 games where he found the back of the net, he scored the opening goal each time.
Wow.
Talk about a knack for setting the tone.
Yeah, he really sets the tone.
Yeah.
So we got 2 players here who love to kick things off with a bang.
I love it.
Adds even more excitement to this matchup.
For sure. For sure.
But here's a stat that I think throws another twist into things. Hit me.
Southampton hasn't won any of their last 4 year-ending Premier League games.
Okay.
And all 4 of those losses came against London teams.
Really?
So
that's interesting.
It's just this quirky stat that adds another layer of drama to this New Year's Eve clash.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
So how do we put this all together?
Right. So we've got Crystal Palace in form, good home record against Southampton.
Mm-hmm.
But Southampton, despite their struggles, they've shown that they can really be a thorn in Palace's side.
That's right.
And what's fascinating to me is how those individual battles are going to unfold.
Yeah.
Will Mateta be able to keep that scoring streak going against Southampton's defense?
Right.
Will Onuachu be able to, use his size and his physicality to overpower that Palace backline?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think that these individual matchups could decide the game.
Mm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Those individual battles, like you said, those moments of brilliance, those
Yeah.
errors, those are the things that can really swing a game.
Yeah.
It's not just about team form,
Yeah.
it's about who seizes those crucial moments. And I think
Yeah.
that's what makes this match so compelling.
Yeah.
You got two teams with very different trajectories, but their history suggests it's going to be a tight one.
Exactly. And, that brings us to you, the listener.
Yeah,
It's easy for us to, get caught up in the team narratives and the stats.
sure.
But how much weight would you give to Southampton's head-to-head record when you're making your prediction?
Mm-hmm.
Is it enough to overcome their overall struggles this season?
Right.
Or will Crystal Palace just maintain their dominance and keep those New Year's Eve celebrations going?
Tough questions.
It's a tough one to call.
It is.
But we want to hear from you. Let us know what you think will happen.
Yeah, let us know.
All right. That's going to do it for this deep dive.
Another good one.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.